Hey everyone, got a really cool tutorial for you. I was working this week on a project that I needed to do with Lego people, and so we needed to have a 2D animated mouth and eyes, and I thought it was gonna be easy, but it spent like 8 hours trying to figure it out because nobody else knew how to do it. So I figured it out, knocked it out, and we've got a tutorial here on how to do it because no one else out there seems to know how to do it. So it's using texture UV map placement animation with set driven keys for controls. So we're gonna go over that here. Hopefully you're gonna like it because it's gonna hopefully save you guys 1 billion hours of R&D and swearing. I swore so much. I learned some new swear words that I didn't even know I knew, and hopefully this is going to help you guys not get to that point, hopefully. Okay, so before we get started, I'm just going to give you a quick demo of what we're hoping to achieve here and what I'm going to be teaching you to do. So if this is the style that you're looking for, this is the video for you for sure. So here we go. This is just to give you a little bit of backstory on this one. This is a Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, and he's in Lego form for a project I'm working on currently, and this is going to show you, yeah, like I said, an example of what we're going for.
Breaker, come in Earth. This is rocket ship 27. Aliens fucked over the carbonator on inch number 4. I'm going to try to refuculate it and land on Juniper, and hopefully you got some space weed over.
So yeah, that right there is the system that we're going to be generating here in this video as far as the face and eye movements. So first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to start with a new scene here. It's just going to be the Lego head thing. I've already prepared this. It's just a simple geo. So here we go. Just a little Lego head. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to add we're going to open up the Hypershade, and we're going to create a new texture for this. So I'm using VRay, so I'm going to create a VRay material. I'm going to name it head texture, just so we don't get super confused. I'm going to use a diffuse color. So I've already kind of created phenomes. So I'll show you what I mean there. I got a bunch of faces here. So I've got, because we're going to be using UDIM here, I've created, different sections here. So if you notice, the mouth here is, changing to different phenomes, and then the eyes will have only a few different states. So we've got 2 eyes open, we got 1 eye open or closed, another eye, or both eyes closed, and then the opposite eye. So and then if you notice, the other ones are all kind of just the same thing, and that's because we only have 4 states for the eyes, so we can just repeat. I'll show you what I mean in a second here. So first of all, we're going to just choose the first one here. I'm going to open that up. We're not going to use image sequence because it's not going to be animated. What it's going to be doing is we're using a UV transform to be able to change this kind of sprites. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch this UV tiling mode to UDIM. If you've noticed the actual way that I've saved everything, the naming convention here follows the UDIM stuff. So if you guys have any questions about that, I'll link in some information about UDIMs and how they work and how the naming convention is. So it's pretty much 1001, 1002, 1003. And then we've got 1013, 1014, and you'll see what I mean by the grid when I post the grid. When you open up the UV editor here, so we're gonna open up Windows and then modeling UV editor. Well, first of all, I'm gonna just kind of apply this texture to it, and now you're gonna see all the UDIMs are there. It even shows you the file name and everything. I'm probably just gonna fix this UV here, just these ones here, just not, I'm a little perfectionist here, so I'm gonna move it in the middle there. Okay, so now you've seen with the UV, we've got the front and the back. The reason I left this back open and that size is because I want to add some distress and some texture, some maps so that it looks like a little bit of scratch indents and stuff like that. But for the purpose of this, I'm not going to go into that. So now you'll see that each one of them is a sprite, and if we turn on 6 shaded display, oops. right here, you will notice, oh, sometimes you'll have to hit the generate preview here to get it to show up here. But here we go, we've got the little face there, so that's the cool part. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into the face here. We're going to be controlling all of the phenomes by the face. So so what I'll do is I'll create the with this selected, I'm going to go to add attribute. I'm going to do 2 of them for now. So we're going to say one's going to be the mouth control. Okay, there's an easier way to do this, the whole process, but if you want to be separating for the mouth and the eyes, then this is the only way really to do it. So we've got the mouth control. We're going to name it, we're going to set it to enum, and then mouth control is going to have the phenomes in it. So I'm going to start with arrest, so him doing nothing, and then we're going to do the A, O, it's got E, W, R, and I mean, you guys can do different ones if you want, because this one works for me. I use the P, or I think T's for P's and stuff like that. It just depends on the level of the way you want to do it for your workflow. So I got LN, I got UQ, and then we got MBP, and I think FV is the last one, FNV. Perfect. So with all that selected, we're going to hit add. We're going to notice it's going to be adding it over here. Another thing is that we're going to be doing, we're going to add another one here, and it's going to be the eye control. And then, like I said earlier, it makes we've got the both eyes open, and then right eye closed, left eye closed, and it's all, again, this is your workflow. You can do it in different orders or whatever you want to do. And I'll say both, come on, both eyes closed. Okay, and then I'll add that one as well. You'll notice both of those are on here. I've got a few extra ones here. I'm just going to kind of get rid of those and hide them. So now you've got these drop-down menu. This is going to be your control to start with. What I do after I'm done is I create a second control that will drive that as well, so I don't actually have to select the geo, and I can turn it on a layer where it's not selectable, just for the rig. But for the purpose of this, we're just going to go ahead with this. So the next step is we're going to take a look here at the, I'm going to go into the Windows and then the UV editor. So this is where we're going to be making our changes, because we're going to want to change the UV placement, and then the UV placement is going to change the face. Now, if we want to have this many different images, then we're going to have to split this UVs in half, because otherwise we're going to have the same mouth for all 4 different states of the eyes, and that just doesn't make sense. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be splitting that up so that we can actually change them individually. To do that, what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to make some slight modifications to the actual geo itself. So for what I do is I'll just switch here and go to our front view, and I'll go into the modeling tool set here, and I'm going to do a insert edge loop tool right smack dab in the middle here. Boom. You'll notice there's a little bit there, a little bit of kind of geo stuff. So what I usually do, I mean, it's just particularly this thing here. So I'm going to switch over to edges. I'm going to grab all these ones here, and I'm just going to do a quick soften edge so it's not so messed up. So switch to the UV editor. So I will do to Windows modeling UV. This part's important. What you want to do is you want to do the planar mapping, and you want to do the planar mapping from here, because if you select here, we're going to grab both of those, right? Don't want that. So I'm going to grab faces on this side. I'm going to switch to face mode. I'm going to grab that. So we got the top half, but not including the back half. So if you look at that, it's only the front half. So we'll do this, and we'll do the UV planar mapping on the x-axis. There we go. Looks good. No, it doesn't, but we'll switch it to 1 so it's not squished. Make sure the production width and height match. And then we'll do the same thing here. We'll do the face for the bottom half, and we'll apply that as well. Switch it to 1, so they're both same size. That's perfect. So now we've got that. So the big thing is that we're going to want to put these together so there's no like clipping or anything like that on the image. So in order to do that, we're going to have them really close. It's going to be really hard to select them. So the solution to that is switching over to UVs and selecting these UVs now, and just creating a set, a quick selection set. So we're going to say top UV set for the first one, boom, and then we'll do the same thing for the second one, and we'll create set quick selection set, and it's going to be bottom UV set. I don't remember. Yeah, okay, so there you go. So that's perfect, because now we can get these to really close together, squish them together, and this would be a nightmare if we had to, you know, select them separately without the set, right? So there you go, you got it all good. Kind of looks close. It'll be close enough. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring him back in there. We're going to have to shrink it because we did reproject. Perfect thing is that we've got this other side here that we can kind of use as a template. Shrink it to the right size. There you go. Now right straight up. Boom. Now if you take a look here, he looks all right. So the cool thing now is that we've got separate, we can, like if I go here to the select, and then we go to quick selection set, top UV, I can select those individually, and I can make it different. So we're not going to be messing around with dragging and everything like that either. Now the next step we're going to need is we're going to use this as a set driven key. So but before that we need something to be able to animate. So we'll go to edit mesh and transform. That's going to create a node called polymove UV1, and we're going to want to change this to top. I don't know, you just name it something so you know the difference between the two, because we're going to top movie UV1 and save that there. And then I'm going to do my selection set, and I'm going to do the bottom, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So mesh or edit mesh and then transform, and then we'll preview that, and then we'll save bottom. So these are now attributes that you can use a set driven key with, which is really cool. So now if we've got both of those, we can switch to the animation, grab this bottom UV1, which we already have, and then we'll do key, and then set driven key set. Okay, so we want two different things here. We want, I'm going to zoom out here so we can see our sprites. Set driven key, so we're going to want to load the driver. So this is load the driven here as this particular thing here. There's a million different things. We want to click that right there. Translate U and V is what we're going to want. I'm also going to set the, I'm going to load the driver as this guy, the Lego head shape. That's going to be the driver. Sorry, fade. We have to switch into this, and then now we'll set this and load the driver. So now we get the Lego head. So for the first one, we're doing the bottom move. So the bottom is going to be the mouth. So we're going to switch mouth control and translate U and V. So we're going to hit key on that. So now we're going to switch. So we're going to have the mouth control rest to be here. So this is rest. Perfect. That's exactly where we want to be. I'm going to open this up. The translate U and V are going to be what they are. So that's keyed already. So now we're going to switch to the mouth control to A. And I think that's it there. Face 102. So we're going to just change the translate U to 1. Now we've got that. Hit enter. Hit key. Now we're going to do the same thing with O. And then we're going to switch the U to 2. And then we're going to key that. And then we're going to do the same thing with E. And then we're going to switch this to 3. And then we key that. And then so on and so forth, right? So we got E, and we got WR. Was going to be 4. And then we're going to key that. And then we're going to do TS, which is going to be, actually this is going to be 1. Or no, 0, and then the UV is going to be 1. So we're kind of moving up there. And then we'll go key that one. And then we'll do LN, which is going to be 2 on this one. Did I say 2? 1. Sorry, this is going to be 1. So I always get confused with these ones. And then we'll do the LN. This is the longest one too, by the way. And then translate U is going to be 2. And I'm going to key that. And I'm going to go to UQ and BP. It's going to be 3. I'm going to key that. And then we're going to do the last one, FB. And I'm going to switch that to 4. And I'm going to key that one. Now what's really cool is you can see that we can control this right now, which is perfect, right? So there's the first part done. I'm willing to bet you guys already know what we're going to be doing next. We're going to be doing the eye control. So same thing, similar. Okay, so we're going to go to eye control here as a driver, and this one we're going to have to set as the top move. So top move, we're going to load that as the driven. Top move UV, translate U and V. We're going to do that, and then Lego head eye control, and we're going to key that. So we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to do this one easier. So both eyes open is going to be clear. And then we're going to do the bottom, so top UV. And then we're going to say, okay, so we're going to 0. Actually, that's good. That's keyed already. And then we're going to do right eye closed, which we're going to be doing, I think, 2. Oops. Can't do that. All right, so it's 2 here. No, that's 1. Yeah, okay. So then we go there and we key that one. And then we'll do left eye closed. And then we'll do, I think that one's on, I'm just doing this in a weird way. This is going to be 3. And then we're key that one. And then we're going to do both eyes closed, which is 2. Kind of backwards, but I did it a different way the last time. Now I can test it out. So both eyes are open, both eyes are closed, right eye's open, left eye's open. There you go, done, okay? So now that that's all keyed, we've got a cool control. So the control actually works really well. You got both eyes open, he's talking, he can rest his mouth and then do that. So what's really cool is the next step, you can do is you can start animating to whatever audio you want to do by importing the audio and having it in here, which is really neat. So for example, I'm just gonna do some keying here. So let's say we want to have rest and both eyes open, and then we're going to key that right there, right on the geo, and then we'll have maybe, let's see, mouth control is going to be O, set that key. Yeah, he's not really saying anything because I'm not animating to audio, but it will be neat to be able to see him changing his expressions. Let's see, go in some in the middle here. You can have him both eyes closed, set that for a couple frames, both eyes closed, and then you've got him talking, and it's kind of a neat idea. You can have him wink, you can have him do everything, but when you start getting into keying to an audio track, it actually looks really, really cool. So hopefully that helps you guys. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. I'll help you out with everything I can. But yeah, it's took me a while to figure this out because nobody else really kind of had postings. No one ever really kind of went into detail on how to do it. So hopefully this guys helps you out, guys. So again, yeah, let me know what you think. Post in the comments. Subscribe if you want to. I'll see you soon.